conducting an experiment, we look at 4 different things: planning, predicting, conducting, and evaluating. Today the focus question is, which will heat up quicker, salt water or fresh water? First thing we're going to do is figure out what we're going to measure. In this experiment, we're measuring how quickly the temperature rises in fresh water and then in salt water. The differences between salt water and fresh water is that one has salt in it. When we're conducting a science experiment, we can only change one thing. Now we're going to figure out what are we going to keep the same. We can only change one thing. These are all called variables. Now we know what we're going to keep the same. They are how much water we use, what thermometer we use, the size of the container, what the temperature of the water is originally, and where we put the water to heat up. In this, we need to make a prediction. It's not a guess. That's why we always use the word because to explain our answer. I have made my prediction. My prediction is the fresh water is going to heat it up faster because it's got less particles to heat up. I predict that the salt water will heat up the quickest because the whole salt will absorb the heat. I predict that both will heat up at the same time because they both have the same amount of water. There are 3 jobs that all science experiments have to have. I'm measuring, I'm conducting, and I'm making sure it's a fair test. Now we're in the conducting phase of our experiment. We need to do the experiment 3 times to make sure it's a fair test. We're going to come out and check the temperature every hour and then record our findings on our table. Good. Now we need to make a recording sheet to record all of our results. We use tables. For creating a summary, processing information, check to see if you can create a graph, and look for any patterns. Now we are going to summarize our experiment. To do this, we are going to use the results from our table sheet to create a graph. From our graph, we are going to see if it can answer our original question. Now we're up to the evaluating stage of our experiment. This is looking for problems that may have affected our findings. We had different coloured trays and the thermometer was touching the plastic. That may have affected our experiment.